I was meeting a potential Social Security disability client a few days ago, and she told me that 10 years ago she had cervical or neck surgery, and that now, 10 years later, she was experiencing numbness running down both of her arms, pain in her mid-back, and general overall complications from that surgery. And really, without hearing any more, I thought to myself, this is going to be a pretty good case. I want to tell you why. I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney. I practice throughout the country, and I frequently talk to people who have had surgery a number of years ago, whether it's 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, even 4 or 5 years ago, and now they're having complications. And this is especially true with cervical or neck surgery. And I think the reason for that is that in the cervical spine, first of all, the bones are much smaller. The operating space is much smaller. And secondly is that unlike with the lower back, which you can sometimes immobilize, with your neck, you're bouncing your head and you're constantly turning from side to side, and it's going to generate a lot more movement. It's much more difficult, I find, to recover from neck surgery than it is from lower back surgery. I think also when you're dealing with neck surgery, if you have a fusion, for example, which is fairly common, then the thoracic spine or mid-back spine and your lumbar spine with lower back are going to have to take up the slack, because now your cervical spine, your neck area, is not really going to move in the way it's designed to move. And just like with any other body part, if you immobilize one part, the stress from that immobilized part is going to have to be borne by other parts of the body. So I've seen people with ankle issues, knee issues after having neck surgery because, again, they walk differently, they sit differently, they stand differently. It's very, very common in the case of cervical spine surgeries that people have complications down the road. And I think the big culprit here is Fassett arthritis or arthropathy. And basically what that means is that the scar tissue builds up, there's calcium buildup, and sometimes, especially because, again, in the neck, the space in the vertebrae is much smaller for the spinal cord to go through, that you start seeing calcium build up. There can be impingement on the spinal cord, which can again cause nerve issues. The ligaments and tendons are stressed because, again, the bones aren't bearing as much of the weight as they otherwise would. And so you just find a degeneration that goes on over the years. And so if you've had surgery in the cervical spine 8-10 years ago, there's a pretty good chance 10 years later you're going to be having some problems. Now, again, doesn't always happen, and some people go through physical therapy, they remain active, they eat well, and they have great results going on indefinitely. But I will tell you that a lot of people, if you are not real active and you don't really work at the physical therapy, that over time, over that 10 years, people gain weight, they're not as active, not as mobile, and then they have this repeat problem where, again, the calcium buildup, which, again, some people are just genetically predisposed to that. They have thoracic spine issues. I've seen a number of cases where people have herniated discs in the thoracic or mid-back area, lumbar area, again, the knee and ankle issues even. So these type of problems will arise. So if you had surgery a number of years ago and now are having problems, you're not alone, first of all, and secondly, my experience has been that judges recognize that this is a fairly common complication of neck surgery, and it can be a support for a good Social Security disability case. So if you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and like it on Facebook. And if you haven't already done so, I've got a very helpful guide to winning your Social Security disability case, and I think you'll find that very useful. You can download it. I've got the link here on the screen. And basically, if there's anything I can do for you, any questions I can answer, please reach out to me directly. Happy to help you any way I can. This is Jonathan Ginsberg, wishing you well. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to to win your case, and a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.